All right, episode 3. So Candy Bar comes back from the dead inside the coffin, and Ash has to have this big fight with her in the coffin. And there's this scene where he puts the picture, like she grabs the picture frame, and she's like, "Here," because she's trying to fuck him, and she puts the picture frame over her face and of what she looked like before she died, and she's like, "Is this better?" And he like takes it and he smashes it in her face, and she like sticks her tongue through the broken glass right where her mouth should be, and it makes these like jagged little glass teeth all around. And then Ash takes it and rips her fucking tongue off with the glass, then takes the picture frame, jabs it into her neck, and saws her head off with the picture frame. And then he gets trapped in the coffin, and they're having the ceremony, the little wake there, and the daughter Brandy's sitting up on stage. She's having her moment. She thinks Ash has stood her up, and then he comes out of the fucking coffin with her severed head on him. He puts the picture frame up, which has this broken teeth looking glass, blood all over it and shit, and he just goes and he sits down at the table, or at the seat in front of the table, and she freaks out. But of course she like tries to go back up and finish the speech, and not everyone runs out of the place. This show has not a basis in reality in the slightest, so you just can't look at that kind of stuff as realistic at all, I guess. Or this town's just so used to Ashy Slashy that they're like, oh, this is just a typical Tuesday for this guy. I don't know, like, people need to believe that he's a fighter of evil, or he isn't. But then when that thing falls over and the head comes out and it rolls out, and then Kelly and Pablo and this Dalton guy come in, it's so gross, it's so fucked up, and it's so perfect. And then, yeah, we already talked about all that. And so Ruby, of course, turns Brandy against Ash, which was her plan all along. And Pablo and company, Kelly, go back to the cabin where so we do go back to the cabin, but the cabin isn't there. I was wondering if we were going to return to the site. They do, because they're looking for the Sumerian dagger that they need. And Ruby goes out and resurrects Ash's dad from his grave. And Dalton is attacked and flown around like Ash in Evil Dead 2. And Pablo comes and saves the day in a truck, or so we think, and then he takes off, and Dalton is impaled and killed. And and then Ash comes in, and Brandy's sitting there, and she's getting to know Ash's dad, and he has a big talk with him, and he kills him. And she's freaking out on him, and he's trying to tell her, like, no, it's not true. Like, this is not your grandfather. Like, I have to kill this girl. Would be just traumatized. The fact that she's getting along with him and loving him so much, and then has to watch him get cut up by a chainsaw by her now recently found out father. This girl's mind would be fucking Hamburger Helper. It would be a mush. So great stuff, great ending, so graphically violent, so hilariously gory and absurd. This show's amazing. What can I say? Moving on.